Mark Walsh from Embodied Yoga Principles here. This is a video on what I'm calling Vitruvian yoga. So you've probably seen the Vitruvian Man, the classic Leonardo da Vinci sketch that's used around the world for many different things. For me, this says a lot. It's about the physical dimensions of a person. What I want to talk about is the meaning dimensions of a human being. So an embodiment perspective is the body is more than just meat. It's more than just a brain taxi. It's a key aspect of who we are as human beings. So there's many, many models for understanding that. And one of the simplest ones is to think in terms of the 6 directions or the 3 dimensions of being a human being. So this model is influenced by Thomas Hanna and Richard Strozzi Heckler. And I've taken it into very much a yoga perspective because it creates a map of different postures, different ways of looking at a human being. And that might be revealing habits, revealing tendencies, and also like what do we want to work on. Okay, so that's a bit abstract. So what do I mean? Probably easiest to start talking about the different directions, right? Like, so talk about down and up. Classically, we could think of like connection to, it might be, the analogy would be heaven and earth, or lower chakras and upper chakras, yeah? The sense of spirituality, of meaning is very much in this vertical axis. And you have some postures which are kind of very low to the ground. We talk about grounding, yeah? Things like this posture we use in EYP, or of course, if you're on all fours, you know, a lot of yoga's fairly in this kind of lower dimension, yeah? And then you have the ones, this is the kind of lower side of things, and often it's like sex and power, and like, wah, yeah? And we'll work with some of those postures from the lower dimensions, like pushing posture, has this feeling of like the legs, wah, yeah? And then we have this middle space of kind of more human, more like giving, receiving. This is about money, exchange. The human dimension, just the human dimension of connecting. So Buddhist terminology, kind of animal realm, and then we've got human realm. And then if we go up, you'll see other postures which are sort of up in the air, more kind of transcendent, like this one we use, transcendence posture. And that's really about elevating ourselves, you know, above the worldly human concerns. The feet come off the floor slightly, and we're going up, yeah? You're capturing the hands there. Okay, yeah? Okay, so this is a vertical dimension, and you'll see some people's yoga is very poof on the floor, and other people's is like da in the air, yeah? And that could be like playfulness or spirituality as well, yeah? Connected those two. So it's worth noting is your yoga both the postures and also the manner you do it. Let's take like a warrior posture. Is it like on the ground, or is it like da in the air? Yeah, so even the same posture could feel very different in this vertical dimension. Okay, next dimension, going in and going out, so a much more social dimension. Some postures very expansive, you know, like we use this one, being seen posture, and then we have privacy posture, yeah? It just shifts my status as soon as I do that. It's like everything in, yeah? But I'm on camera, so it's big. And then we have, you know, the warrior postures or some of the other sort of bigger postures you'll see in yoga that are about width, that are about taking up space, being seen, social engagement, expression rather than, we also have here like containment, like containing postures, yeah? And that privacy, that more inner world. Yeah, so obviously both are part of yoga. And which do we want to develop? Which do we want to practice? And even in a posture like warrior, we'll see some people will be really out, and other people will just be slightly more in, yeah, as opposed to So that will reveal some pattern about them, and it may be something they want to work on or not. Okay, last dimension, forwards and back. So we can think of this one as time. So if we thought before of like what and where, this is when. Think of it in terms of these questions as well. So the future and the past. Some yoga postures much more back, like we have this one, evaluation posture, or kind of yes, has a kind of back quality, and others much more forward, yeah, much more going into the future, yeah. Some people are really living on the balls of their feet, some on the heels of their feet, the past or the future. Cultures too, actually, all cultures exist in these dimensions, you know, like, I mean, like a lot of Slavic countries, that's often quite down, you know, whereas Italians are more up, yeah? Not all people, obviously, but as a culture. So this dimension of time, are you more forwards, are you more back? And both are needed in life, to engage and then to reflect. to have awareness of the past, where you come from, your history, and also your future, where you're going, like postures that have a forward movement. So warrior also has a forward quality to it. Cha, entering posture we use in EYP. Yeah, so that's the last dimension. It's a model, something to reflect upon. Does your yoga have a tendency, both in the postures you tend to pick, and also in the way in which you do the postures? So a model to reflect upon. So if you like that, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the little bell button so you get the videos rather than just subscribe. Obviously, likes and comments are very useful for us. It's always nice to hear what people think, to ask questions. I will respond to them if you do. So ask questions, share your own experiences, and it just means that more people see the videos, which is nice for us. It also means you're more likely to see it yourself in the future. So if you've liked it, please like it.